It's still a Bua Community Voice. Yet another episode, and today on a Sports Brief, we'll be talking about something interesting about the Golden Boy, the one that finished second in the Ballon d'Or list for 2025. In fact, let me tell you that Lamine Yamal that been restricted off-field activity by Barcelona following an increased media attention. That is a huge point to look at. After that, a Clasico game, they've cancelled him from being a part of a huge off-field issues. Barcelona cancelled Lamine Yamal's planned PR appearance for Oppo on Tuesday. The club decided that to more closely monitor the 18-year-old's public engagements following controversial pre-Clasico remarks. Barcelona believe Yamal's previous public discomforts have almost completely resolved, yet he may not be entirely at 100%. And I feel like when you talk too much in the game of the round leather, it puts you under immense pressure. And I feel like that was the reason Barca were beaten by Real Madrid, because yeah, it's football, yeah, it's rivalry. But I think at 18, he shouldn't be seeing challenging the likes of Dani Carvajal and all of that. I feel like he needs to calm down. So to aid their voice in all of this, I have with me the man CISO. CISO, good to have you all the program. And of course, Lamine Yamal is one of the most talented young players in the world. We cannot take that away from him anytime, any day. But I feel like Barcelona want to moderate Yamal's life away from football, aiming to maintain his focus. I mean, growing media scrutiny. The club took this step after the false remark ahead of the Clasico, where we are perceived to have motivated Real Madrid's players with eternal sentiment suggesting that he has become excessively visible in the public sphere. Lamine Yamal has consistently displayed self-assurance even when presenting Spain at only 16 years old. However, since reaching 18, his social media activity has increased. You know that at the age of 18, you're freer. He has attended multiple public functions and he's now publicly known as one half of a celebrity couple with Nicky Nicole, the lady that is older than he is. Prior to his recent Real Madrid comments, Barcelona met with his agent George Mendes and agreed to more stringently oversee the teenagers off-field agreement. So if you look at what he's been doing and the social media activity, I feel like football and social media cannot be separated at this time. It's 21st century, it's 2025, and so you cannot take that away. He's 18, he's young, he's naive, he wants to try things out. And I feel like football now is different from football before. But the reality is that he needs to put under control, because I feel like someone could actually bring out his time and get him seriously injured.
Aside from getting him injured, this has played out with a lot of persons, both in the basketball sector, both in other athletic sectors, where we have young players who come on board and then get to the spotlight unexpected and get carried away. Most of the times it ruins their career, and then before they could be able to catch the glimpse, just like Ronaldinho stated in one of his comments about Yamal, I beg your pardon. I think before he gets the whole picture, it might be late. You understand? Now, this is a young lad who has played effortlessly since 16, getting into the senior team at the age when a lot of his peers are still playing at the most junior level.
And he ends big money at that equation, but I feel like money plays
money plays that role in every player's life. Because considering the fact that in social media, you hear him saying he wants to buy off a mansion, this mansion owned by this former Spanish midfielder, defender, with Shakira.
We're talking about PK.
They wanted to buy the mansion at Spain. I was wondering that a young guy at that age trying to be on social media, requesting for all this attention, it's most times it tells on him as a player.
Yeah, because it brings out pressure.
Your focus as a player moves out of the play.
Do you think that's what I wanted to ask? Do you think Barcelona is right by trying to restrict him? Because I feel like Why didn't they start since?
Oh,
Since he was 16, they did not.
Yeah.
Because it's like learning how to use your left hand
at an old age.
at the old age. And I feel like he was 16, he was 17, no control. And now at 18, when he's supposed to become an adult, you're talking about control.
Because presently now, he's telling on him on the field. If you want the El Clasico, what he did, he couldn't play.
We also saw him struggle in the game against Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. Was it Paris Saint-Germain?
Yeah, when they got they got a draw in that match.
Yes. Was it? Yes. I think in the game. No, it was in the final against Portugal, in the final of the Nations League. Okay. Where Mendes had to tie him down. It was not when he was talking about himself and Ronaldo.
Yes.
He was talking about he wants to play. You know, a lot of people started comparing him with Ronaldo, what he has achieved. I feel like it's putting a lot of pressure on him. Yeah. So, do you think Barcelona is wrong to start?
Barcelona started late. They started late, but they should try and manage his media outing majorly. Managing it will be the best. Not stopping him entirely. Because he's a star, and every media out.
He still needs to get involved.
There's this media. Listen.
Yeah, I still feel like you're right. Maybe controlling what he says or giving him a script of what to say. Don't cross here. This is the boundary. I feel like he needs to just learn PR, but not like to
learn the public space. If he leaves the media, then I think he'll be lost in the
one of the best ways to control a child of that level is to leave the media for some time, get him back with the manager.
So when he scores a goal after the match, he's
gonna talk. No, chill now. Get him back with the manager.
He's the best second.
That getting him back with the manager, that's where the parents come in. You understand? Because he needs a controlled, more like a controlled lifestyle. This is why I say so. At some point, Kylian almost went that route when he was being, overly begged by PSG, offered millions of euros and everything. But I think Kylian's parents at that point had a very stiff control over him, although he had some media presence, but they controlled, unlike what is happening to Yamal.
But when you talk about Kylian Mbappe's age when he came into the spotlight and the age of Yamal is quite different.
But the difference is not much.
It's not much.
I think at 18,
Mbappe has already
won the World Cup already.
Yes.
And Lamine is yet to win the World Cup. Although the World Cup is coming next year, he can still win it at 18 with Spain. But I feel like Mbappe is one of those kids that you can compare him.
Yeah.
And if you want to go back to the time of old, you can talk about Pelé, who was at the World Cup at 17.
But then the media during the time of Pelé, the media wasn't that.
That's why I used Mbappe as an example here, and I'm saying if it could be, because at some point Mbappe went almost haywire on the social media. He was clubbing, he was doing this, he was here, he was there, he was there. At some point, we stopped seeing those things, not because he wasn't doing them.
Felt like maturity.
It was. I wouldn't say it was outright maturity, because at some point he was even dropping some unnecessary statements on his social media platforms. At some point, if you followed him to an extent, because he was trying to be a protege of Cristiano Ronaldo, but he started doing some unnecessary comparison with this Messi Ronaldo thing at some point. You understand?
Don't you think the number 10 jersey is too heavy for that?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a jersey. But one thing I think about is that Barcelona gave him it on the platter of gold.
Too much free hand.
Yes, not too much free hand. They made Barcelona like, oh, you are the king here.
But he's the king. He's scoring the goals.
He's scoring the goals. But along the line, it will start telling on him, because there are other players older than him.
That is why I said
that will not say, you are the only one being
get back to those things. After the match, you contribute, and then it's time for interview. The coach can actually say you will not do that interview, and you will not do the interview. It's disciplinary measures. And
he has to do something. You can just say something and
just wrong in the code of conduct. You cannot skip. The only thing is that you can control what you say.
Yeah, you can control.
You can ask you say, you can say no comment. You can say
you must say something and get out of it.
But you cannot skip.
But what is
the rules?
Yeah. What I think about your is that.
But I feel like the interviews are not even the problems here. is the social media
Exactly.
from the bedrooms.
And then getting to date the older woman is where I think the parents actually got it wrong.
Let's come to England. Let's come to England. We had players that did that.
See my
We had Sterling. We had
get
a lot of them that.
Get my point. My point is there should be I still want to reference Killian again. There should be a sort of control. Dating the woman is not a problem, it's not the first, but controlling those appearances, social media appearances,
be more of a
because you get
social media.
you get because there's a lot of things, and you've seen all of those things, the hashtags, the trends, the why is he doing this, why is he doing that, you get
well, all the same, that's the watch
for skills
that
and the rest of them.
we can take on this one. I know that you've got one or two things to say about Lamine Yamal's situation at Barca, so you can go ahead and drop it at the comment section. I cannot thank you guys enough for this very insightful conversation. You guys are the best. And my name is OGF and and I say thank you for being a part of this one. Adios.